Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today plays Chess in season two of the Netflix live action adaptation of One Piece. I am so excited to be joined today by Mark Penwill. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. I really appreciate it.
Not at all, thank you.
It's crazy. What time is it where you are right now?
I'm in Cape Town, South Africa. It is 8 p.m.
Oh
Time.
my gosh. And it's 11 a.m. where I am. My day is just getting started. Isn't that crazy to think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. That's. I've got a cousin who lives in Canada, and so phone calls with him are always very. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. But I am so happy that you're here to talk all things One Piece and chess. Before you got the role of chess, how familiar were you with the world of One Piece?
I wasn't at all. I was. I saw in the interview that you did with Mark Hirlook that the guy who plays Dr. Hirlook that that he said he was a boomer, and that's why he doesn't. I'm gonna claim boomer status as well.
That is hilarious. Okay,
I'm
just a
like
bunch of
I'm
boomers.
like gosh, when I was a kid in the '90s, it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, um, like all of the Cartoon Network
Oh, yeah.
animations. I kind of grew up with those, although we didn't have a subscription, so I would watch them at friends' houses.
Oh,
So, not very familiar. I was gonna say my exposure to manga was Last Airbender, and I looked it up, and it's like, no, that's an American adaptation of like Eastern manga kind of culture. So that's all I had.
all right, all right. No, I love the Ninja Turtles. I also grew up with Cartoon Network, Pokemon, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
very cool. So then once you got cast in the role of Chess, did you read the manga? Did you catch up on the first season? How did you prepare for this role?
Hmm. Um, I did. I read sections in the manga, and I quickly found it quite bewildering. Like it's such a big world. There are so many characters, and when you talk about like sort of supernatural worlds, and you talk about like sort of soft magic, hard magic, like how clearly defined are the rules around sort of supernatural acts? And I couldn't, like, in the little bit that I'd read, I couldn't make head or tail of like where the rules lie in this world. So it kind of seemed anything was possible, which is kind of cool. And also, as you probably gathered from some of your other interviews with One Piece cast, is like with really big IP, they don't tell you what you're auditioning for, and even the scene that I did for the audition wasn't a real scene from the show.
Oh, wow.
So they don't even want script to, like, leak out, because even once you find out, maybe in the callback or whatever, then um, you might be tempted to break your NDA or something. So no, we I basically, the scene was a sycophantic um, king's servant of like a maniacal tyrannical king. It's pretty familiar, and but they have all these silly made up names for the parts. And I was at a film festival in at Cannes Film Festival, and I was coming back to my accommodation, and my wife said, "You still haven't done that tape." And then I knocked it out very quickly. I was quite careless with it, but for some reason it worked, which is kind of the opposite of what you think happens as an actor. You think, I'll put a lot of effort into this, you hear nothing back, and then you just knock something out, and then it seems to work. So
Wow. That is incredible. There are so many properties out there now, from anime to cartoons to manga. What do you think it is about One Piece specifically that has captured like the attention of everybody?
um, that's a good question. Um, I think a big part of it is like a love and affection in like a crew, like a
Mhm.
crew of friends. That's something everybody wants to grow up with, and if you didn't grow up with it, you miss it when you encounter it in real life. Um, so I think that's like definitely one of the parts of the heart of the show. I think the other thing is just like it's whimsical, and it's silly, and and it's over the top and it's bombastic. And so when you like normally when you like audition for like TV shows or movies, almost every take that I do, I'm worried that I've gone too big.
Mm.
And then for this, when I was there on the day, I was like, was that too big? They're like, no. They're like, you can go bigger.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
So
that
now,
is
like
awesome.
when I've like read Reddit comments and stuff, people are like, he's unhinged, and I was like, that's yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I love that. One of the things I love about One Piece is the magical devil fruit and how, depending on which
Mm.
one you eat, you get a power. So I was curious, if you were to eat a devil fruit in real life, what is a power that you would like to have?
Power that I would like to have. It would be, I already have like an insatiable curiosity for almost everything. I'm definitely like an internet kid. I spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos about how they make certain metal alloys, just odd stuff that will never be useful to me. It would be nice to be able to close the gap with the devil fruit. So, like, maybe I could produce the tools and the necessary safety equipment to implement any of the things I've learned on the internet.
Okay, no, that's a cool one. I was trying to think of what I would want. I'm terrified of flying, like I hate getting on planes. So if I could just have a
Uh,
power to teleport like across, the world or across the country, that'd be easy for
extremely
me.
useful. Can I challenge that though?
Yes.
If you had that, then how would you, if you had something important happening where you are currently,
Mhm.
and then you also had a friend that you like to visit in Caracas, and it's very easy for you to spend time with that friend because you can just teleport. But now someone at home is sick, but there's like a good party happening in Caracas. So do you see what I mean? Like the
Mhm.
impediments of the natural world make decisions for us.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
if you could really go everywhere, then you'd have to come up with like quite a severe hierarchy of priorities.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's
I
just,
don't know.
yeah.
Okay, that's a tough one.
No, but that's still an extremely useful. That's top.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to get on an airplane, I'm fine.
I think you would immediately be frog marched into some sort of military service.
Oh
Uh,
no. Or
they could
cloned or
control you.
something.
Yeah,
Oh man, no, I think you're right. I think you're right. Another thing I love about One Piece is how detailed and gorgeous all the different set pieces are. What was your
yeah.
first scene that you filmed when you joined the set, and what was your first reaction to walking on the set for the first time?
So I think the first set that we walked onto was there's a bit in season two. I won't give away too many details, but there's King Wapol is there. I'm sure everybody who's watching would expect to see in a scene with me, and Kuromarimo, KM, and me and Dalton, and we had to walk through a forest that they'd created out of paper fibers. So like a snowy forest, like in the movie industry, is like paper fibers, and they had like these big blowers, and they were blowing like these fibers. It's crazy, but it's so realistic. It's amazing, and and I'm just trying to think. So that was the first. I think that was the first scene that we shot. And how did it? The way it felt was just. It's like a military campaign, and there's like the war's already been going on for like years, and you're like a new recruit in like Band of Brothers, and people are just like, "Here's a rifle, watch that bit," and uh, and you're like, I don't know why someone's put me in this position. I don't know if I don't know what I'm doing here. um, but it was pretty chilled. I mean, like, obviously when you're in front of camera, like you're somewhat self-conscious. You're like, but of course there are so many details that are not you as an actor that they're paying attention to, and that everyone's paying attention to. So, um, it was actually but it was like the scale of the sets and of this show, it's kind of hard to overstate how big it is, how many people are basically I mean, relative to their kind of freelance work, semi-permanently employed on this show, making the most extraordinary sets and costumes. The costumes are crazy good and detailed. Um, yeah, so that was my first day, was that scene, and I felt overwhelmed.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you mentioned the costumes because your costume for chess looks so cozy, but also I feel like it could get very hot in that costume. So what was it like when
Yeah,
you put that on for the first time? And was it very hot or cozy? What was it like?
it was uncomfortable. um, Cape Town, South Africa is not, we're not known for Nordic cold weather. We're known for Southern Hemisphere weather. So, so like the Cape is like a sort of velour, like a velvet, which is what it is. It's not like a fake. That's what it is. And then the like the manga version of chess is such a strange shape.
Mhm.
He's like a big skittle or something. And so I'm wearing like a padded thing underneath all of the layers, like made of foam, and it's like knitted together. But that it's not comfortable. It's very hot. And then what was tricky was because it's all one piece, you can't turn your neck, and you have to get it exactly right because the hole for the face needs to stay here. But when you put like um, the out on, that like pulls down on that whole thing, which then pulls down on your head and face. So there's like a there was like quite a complex like shame. Carrie Ann, Carrie Ann Barnard, who's in charge of wardrobe and who designed a lot of the stuff with her team, did an amazing job. And I think I gave her the most heart attacks.
Oh,
I think I
no.
can comfortably say out of all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. We have to talk about your
Mm.
incredible fight scene. So it's you and KM against Sanji and Tank Chopper. What was it like filming that scene, and how long did it take to film that entire sequence?
Gosh, I think it was 2 days. Um, just for you mean the big fight scene at the end of season two
Yes.
in the like in the medical the like hospital sanitarium.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was about 2 days, and they when you rehearse a fight scene like that, you obviously do the whole sequence like one long dance, but on the day they cut it up a lot, so which is like a good thing because you might have forgotten stuff. But if you can if you have like the random access memory in your brain to like remember 5 seconds, you're good. And then you just do the next 5 seconds. So but they do the whole they do like the all of the fight scenes with us the cast, and then they do all of the fight scenes with the stunt doubles. So each one of us had a stunt double as well. And yeah, and then they stitch it together. But that was a lot of fun. A really good moment was I got to do there's like a zip line. So there's a bit right at the like there's a bit. Okay, I won't give too much away, but another character gives me a really good uppercut, and I go flying. Um, and I remember seeing. I think I might have seen like the storyboard or something like that, or someone described it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy! How are they going to do that?" And they're like, "Well, they're going to throw you across the room." So then they put like a harness. They put a different version of the outfit on me that could like you could fit a harness. There were like holes for the cables and stuff. And then yeah, and then you just go flying. And there's guys who like are holding the ropes, and they like jump off, and they're like heavy guys, and they jump off like a height, and it yanks you up into the air, and you fly across the room. I did it like 8 times. It was really cool.
Oh my gosh, what a
Yeah,
fun day for work though. Like that's what you get to do for your day. I would be in
amazing.
heaven. Yeah, what a cool opportunity.
No, it was amazing. It was really really cool. My only gripe was how hot it was, but I had it. You know, I didn't even have it the worst. Like, I don't know if you'll get to chat to the guy who played King Wapol, but his outfit was insane because he had like latex, like rubber layers. It
Mhm.
wasn't just cloth.
Oh
So
my
the
gosh.
insulation there is. So he actually had like a cooling suit on, which is like a mesh network of pipes that you plug into a thing that circulates like freezing water to like cool him down in between takes. But like that, yeah, I had it easier than him.
Oh my gosh. No, that is crazy. But yeah, it's good to have something like that because these costumes, you don't realize watching it at home how many layers there are, how much padding there is. Plus, you're moving around, you're doing all these stunts. It gets very hot.
It does, and like you get worried as an actor because you've rehearsed this whole fight sequence in like sweatpants and a t-shirt, and so you're like, oh, I've got this down pat. I'm gonna really nail it on the day, and then you warm up a bit on like just outside of the set with like some of the stunt guys, and you're like, oh damn, I hope I'm not gonna like make it look terrible now because it's like it's restricting. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you mentioned King Wapol. He is kind of the big villain of season two, and Chess is kind of
Yeah.
like his right-hand man. What was it like getting to work with Rob Colletti, who does such an incredible job as the king on season two?
It was very cool. It was like it was a bit intimidating at first because obviously you chat as actors like in waiting areas, and he'd been part of Book of Mormon
Oh yeah.
for like many years on like Broadway, I think. And I'm such a big fan of that show, and I love the characters, and I love. I saw it in London. I didn't see it in the UK in the US, but I know how good those guys are, and I know how hard they work for years. Like they do like pretty hectic show runs, and so it was scary, like and but there's no backing out now. But he's such a friendly guy, and he's very he's very talented, and he's very detailed. He's like very focused on set. Yeah.
Yeah, his costume design is so cool. When you see the drawing or, the sketching of your character for the first time, are you able to picture in your head how you're going to translate that into live action?
No, like when I first saw like the drawing, like when I googled it, and they were like, "This is chess," and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "How are they gonna?" And they've done such a good job on the show of like balancing the quirkiness of the drawing style, which is obviously like maybe a large mouth could be emphasizing like enthusiasm, or it could be like in like a other like a big worldly like a what do you call it like a bombasticness,
Mhm.
or like authoritarian, or whatever it is. And so with the costume that they did for chess, they've kind of captured the shape, like that skittle shape,
Yeah.
but it's still kind of humanoid, which like it's actually really hard. If you looked at the manga and you just said to an average person, how would you put real actors, like what would
Yeah.
the outfit look like? I think most people would struggle to imagine what that would look like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's tough. When I look at characters who haven't been in the show yet that are coming up, in the future, I can't imagine how to pull that off. So it's so cool to see them, translated from the manga to the anime and then to live action. It's so cool to see the different
100%.
versions of the characters.
100%. Yeah,
When
no, it's very cool.
when you look back at your time filming season two, do you have a favorite memory, whether it's a scene you were shooting or something that happened in between takes?
I I just really enjoy, I love chatting to people on set. I think one of the reasons why I'm so glad that I chose to do acting is I'm quite a chatty person, and and so I chatted to one of the screenwriters of season two, Elizabeth, um, about what it's like to work in LA. About the process of writing the show, putting it together, and I just found her a really lovely conversationalist. Um, Dr. Hiruluk, I remember chatting to him briefly, like while we were shooting the scene where he has his, his big moment. For anybody who hasn't seen season two yet, he has a big moment, and and what a lovely, gentle spirited man, and he's a seasoned actor. It's yeah, it's quite impressive, um, and I'm trying to think now. I think some of the funnest moments I had was just with KM, Kurumarimo, Anton Jefter. He is hilarious. He's a very funny guy, and he's got quite a deadpan sense of humor. So do I. There was a bit where on season two where we were filming that big fight scene, and I was really sick, and I just you have to make it work. There's a lot of people waiting for you, and I was wearing like a nightgown, like made of like the wardrobe had given me, and I was wearing like a blanket over me, and I was looking pathetic. and I was like, I don't know, drinking hot tea and stuff like that. And Anton and I were just bantering, would be the British term. Uh, and I was lying on the floor. I was like, I don't want to sit on a chair. I just want to lie down. And there's no bed for me, so I just lay on the floor in this tent, in the green room tent. And I wrapped up a blanket and put it under my neck. And then my like crack cocaine was the catering had these, I think, sugary chocolate peanuts. And I
Ooh.
would just be like, Anton, I need another hit. And then he would go, he'd come back, give me chocolate peanuts, and I would just wolf them down. I'd be like, that is medicine. Now
Oh
I
my
feel better.
gosh. That is
Yeah.
hilarious. If I get a
So I've
chance
had
to
a lot
speak
of
with
nice
him.
chats and and Anton spent quite a while in LA
Mhm.
working as an actor there. So he's also got quite broad experience from different markets. And yeah, he's a top guy. You should chat to him.
Yeah, if I get a chance to talk with him, I'll make sure to bring up the chocolate peanuts.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh. Well, Mark, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to be here and talk all things chess and One Piece with me. If people want to follow you and keep up with, your upcoming projects and appearances and stuff like that, where's a good place for people to come and follow you?
Good question. I guess Instagram. Um, yeah, Instagram. Whenever I make I've been making short films that I've been writing and directing, and I can I can put the link out to some of these projects if people want to check them out. They're mostly like silly comedies, and then I guess IMDb. I always register the projects on there so that they're listed and people can check them out.
Oh, awesome. I'll make sure to put links in the description of this video for your Instagram and for your IMDb so people can keep up with everything you're doing. But Mark, thank you
100%.
so much for being here. It was so nice
You're so
to
welcome.
spend time speaking with you about chess, and I hope you have a great, well, I guess for you, a great night.
Taylor, what would be your favorite character that you saw in the live action?
Oh my gosh. I really think it's Inyaki's performance as Monkey D. Luffy. I can't get over how he's just perfect in that role.
Captures the spirit, hey?
Yeah.
He's like just willfully optimistic. He's kind of like my dad, actually.
Oh, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much, Mark. I hope you have a great evening and thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Bye.